Good? Okay, Mr. Zakelli gave me the heads up. So, first of all, thank you for your patience. You are obviously the guinea pigs for this whole endeavor. This is something new for all of us, and we hope it works out well. We hope those of you that are tuning in at home to check out our award ceremonies will continue to do so. This evening we have our boys golf team, and then followed in about an hour by our girls golf team. So again, thank you guys, parents, for being in attendance, for wearing your masks, for following our protocols. Obviously, none of us really want to have the award ceremony like this. We'd rather be having a nice meal from the Burntwood Tavern and doing those sorts of things. So again, we appreciate you following the protocols and cooperating with us tonight. Just before we turn it over to our coaches, a couple things. We always wanted to thank our Westlake Demon Athletic Boosters. President Tim Bin has done a great job. If you athletes, if you want to order a varsity jacket, you can do that in the W Shop. You can also email Mrs. Prexler. Her email is on the website. She handles all our varsity jackets. Just a plug for those of you that are out there watching. We're always looking for new members and new ideas and people to volunteer. We're starting to staff our winter sport concessions right now, so please email Laura Lett and do Sign Up Genius to work in the concession stand for our basketball games. Again, thank you to WDAB as they provide about half of the awards that we hand out during these award ceremonies. So they support our athletes in so many different ways, and if you haven't checked out the great initiative that they do every year during this time, honoring our veterans out front. If you haven't checked that out, that would be great. So, without further ado, I'm going to bring up a veteran himself, Coach Kreider of the JV golf team. You're on camera, so okay, awesome.
Thank you, Mr. Cipollone, I appreciate it. All right, let's get started. Westlake Demon Golfers, it has been a pleasure being your golf coach over the last 2 years. Coach Coleman, I want to see you all reach your full potential. In order to do that, I believe that you all need to treat this offseason as a time when the winners and losers will be determined. As you know, I've served in the Army for 5 years. The Sergeant Major of the Army once said that battles are won between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. By this, he meant physical training time. It is your work in the off-season that will separate you apart come next August. I want to see you all maximize your potential. Seeing you all reminds me of the younger version of myself. I was alive with the dream to play golf at the highest levels and to receive a college scholarship. I remember taking the bus to school in 7th and 8th grade, and on the way to school, I would read every book that I could find. I was reading golf psychology books, doing whatever it took to gain a competitive advantage. Those winters, my father and I went to the driving range with nothing but snow on the ground. We hit golf balls under the heated stalls and couldn't always see exactly where our shots landed, but we never stopped working. I had putting mats in my house that I practiced on, and we even went to play virtual golf at indoor screen locations. My basic message to you all is don't let the Ohio weather stop your grind. All that hard work paid off in 2008 and 2009 when we won the SWC championship those 2 years. The trophy is still on display right by the gym, and I go back and look at it with pride sometimes, still a whole 11 years later. I want this same sense of accomplishment for you all. I want you to feel the rush of victory, the feeling that all the hard work and at times disappointment has paid off. It is a priceless feeling. One of my favorite quotes is that pain is temporary, but victory is forever. Once you guys win an SWC championship, there's no taking it away from you. I know that I'm speaking to a room full of qualified golfers who can take their games as far as they want to go. Coach Coleman and I want to help you get there. Whether it's virtual help, training aid suggestions, or whatever else may be required, we are here to help. However, the high school season is a very short sprint, and there isn't always time to make major changes. This is why I'm counting on you guys to do a lot of work before August. If you are already going into the season prepared, we can help you make those last-minute tweaks to realize your full potential. And on top of that, there really is nothing like competitive repetitions. The more you compete, the more comfortable you will feel under pressure. With that being said, I hope for many more SWC championships to come for the Westlake Boys Golf Program. Thank you for dealing with the craziness of 2020 during our season, and I hope that 2021 brings even better things for us all. Thank you. And I do have 2 special awards, and I want to recognize those players. Your awards are on the table up here. With COVID, we kind of have to eliminate the handshake, which I hate, but it is what it is. So our JV Boys MVP this year, Michael Levens. Michael played outstanding golf this year, had the lowest scoring average on the team, and I'm expecting big things from him next year. Also, JV Boys Most Improved Player, Bennett Wilkinson. I watched Bennett improve dramatically from day 1 to the final days of the season, and I have full trust and confidence that he'll continue to improve and get better for next year. So I want to have these guys. Your awards are on the far side of the table there. I just want to have you guys be able to hold them up, present them to everybody, and we'll hear one final round of applause for you both because you did a nice job this evening. Thanks, everybody. That's it for JV Golf. I'm going to turn it over to Tony and then over to Mr. Cuomo for varsity.
Thanks, Coach Kreider. Great job. Congratulations to our boys JV golfers. We were lucky enough to have Coach Cuomo come back into the mix. He coached here a while ago, actually before I even got here. Coached our girls team, and when we were Coach Burleycamp decided that with family obligations, it wasn't possible for him to be our coach anymore. He highly recommended Coach Cuomo. And I will say that I didn't really know John, even though we worked in the same building for 11 years, I guess, at least. But I got to know him and really appreciate his take on golf, sports, and all things in life, pretty much. And the best thing is obviously it's great when you can have a great teacher be one of your coaches as well. So I know that he's a highly respected teacher. And when I reached out to Mr. Wilson to say, hey, Mr. Cuomo wants to coach golf, what do you think? He was like, get him now. So we are happy that he took over our golf program. And so without further ado, Coach Cuomo. How's that?
This is fancy. All right. Good evening, guys. I appreciate you guys coming out and supporting the kids, and I appreciate you guys for making the effort to come. First, I want to say thank you to the players, the kids, because they were dealing a lot with me. You know, they didn't know me. They didn't know who I was, and except for a couple of them, I think Joe and Sami were the only 2 I've ever had in class. So I really appreciate your leadership. It was a difficult situation. We were kind of the guinea pigs for the COVID era sports teams, and they just, I want to say the parents and Mr. Wilson and, Mr. Cipollone, they just did fantastic. Everything we asked them, I just couldn't ask for anything more from the guys. They did a great job. So it wasn't always easy for them. There was a lot of transition, so I really appreciate that, fellows. That's first and foremost. Second, support of Tony Cipollone. It still is. It has been a difficult ride, and Mr. Cipollone and Mr. Wilson have done a great job helping you guys have a season and try to get some normalcy to your program in a weird year. So thank you. That's very important. And Coach Kreider too, because we were both kind of thrown into the weeds. We were texting back and forth, talking back and forth. So that was a big help. So thank you, Matthew. I appreciate that. So just a little bit on the season, guys, just to kind of recap. I didn't know what I was getting into. You guys didn't know what you were getting into with me. But we ended up finishing 4-4 in the conference. We tied for 5th. That wasn't too bad. I think I have in my notes here, I think I didn't realize it till the end of the year because I didn't know you guys as golfers. We started 10 different players on the varsity team this year, 10 different guys. So that's pretty remarkable. And I believe we have 6 first-year varsity letter winners in golf. So quite an inexperienced team to finish 4-4, and to kind of cap off the year, finishing third at the SWC tournament with our lowest score of the year at 309. I know we didn't finish up in sectionals like we wanted to, but congratulations, guys. That was a big grind, and I really appreciate that. So without further ado, we got a bunch of awards. What's best, Mr. Cipollone? Have them come up, or?
Yeah, bring them on.
Okay. All right. I'm going to start with a couple. These two gentlemen didn't win a varsity letter, but they were super important to our team, and they got 2 special awards. And the first award was to Michael J. for sportsmanship. I just want to talk a little bit about Michael J. He didn't get into a varsity match this year. He never missed a practice. He never missed a moment to try to get better. He was always there with a smile. He was always having fun with his teammates, always positive, except when he was talking about his putting. He wasn't too positive about that. But I gave him this award because he really kind of grew on me, and he's kind of the kids, I call them old school kids, always wanting to get better. Doesn't matter what I tell him, he's going to give it his best, and I really appreciate that, Michael J. So that's why you got the Sportsmanship Award. My second special award, who did not get a... Yeah, come on up, Michael J. The second award is Coach's Choice. And this is another gentleman that's a senior that did not get a varsity letter. But if he wasn't the most hardest working kid on the team, he was really close, and that's Joe Brown. And I know Joe's a pretty good athlete. I had him in class. He's a swimmer, he's a good lacrosse player. And I showed up first day of tryouts, and here's Joe. I said, what in the world are you doing here, Joe? You don't play golf. He said, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to play. So I'm watching Joe, and he's athletic, and he's bombing balls all over the range. I think he might have hit a couple members over there at Avon Oaks. By the way, that's the most, my wife said, how's the COVID going when I first took over the job? I said, kids are doing really good. I said, I don't think that's the most dangerous thing we have to worry about. And she was shocked. She said, what? I said, I think that 350-yard walk to the back of the range at Avon Oaks is the most dangerous thing we have to worry about. So no one got hit this year, so that's good. So what I give the Coach's Choice Award to Joe Brown, thinking about, how I run my classroom, how I run my program. I don't dress very fancy, I don't talk very good, but I am passionate about kids, and I'm passionate about how kids get to the next level and how kids get to be really good human beings. I think that's kind of the paradigm I look through my biology classes and now the golf team. And what is my program about? And it's kind of about kids like Joe and other guys on the team. And I'll give you one example that kind of cemented in my mind. At the beginning of the year, I said, Joe, man, I don't mind if you're a practice player, I'll help you, but I don't know if you're getting any matches, Joe. I don't see it. You all right with just coming? And he said, you know what, Coach? He said, you don't have to play me. I said, really, Joe? He said, yeah, it's okay. I just want to get better, Coach. Every day I want to get better. So that really kind of sunk into my head, because that's what I preach in the classroom. We're not perfect. None of us are perfect. But if we can just try to get a little bit better. And I appreciate that, Joe. And that's why you got the Coach's Choice Award. You can give him a round. All right, we got a slew of first-year varsity winners here in golf. Another senior I want to mention is Sami Zanati. Sami makes me chuckle. I've had Sami in class. What does Sami mean to me? He's the kid that, you know, I see his parents back there. I'm sure he has a bad day here and there, but I've never seen it. He's always positive. Never heard a bad word from him. Never heard him say one bad word about anything. Every day it's the same since I've had Sami in class. I've had him on the golf team. Everything's great, coach. Everything's positive. Coach, you having a good day? Coach, how's your wife doing? That's Sami, and that's, as the adults in the room know, these guys don't know yet. That's what gets you far in life. That's what the real good stuff is about. So Sami did play in quite a few matches, and I'm still thinking about, what's that course we played at, boys? Seneca? Sami's 40 yards in the trees next to the green. And I'm kind of walking behind. I think I told Colt the wrong thing again. I always told Colt the wrong club. And I'm walking behind feeling bad for Colt. And Sami's in these trees. I was like, yeah, I'm looking. I said, Colt, is he actually trying to hit a green? And he's like, I think so. I said to myself, if I had $100, Sami's not gonna hit this shot. Sami hits it like he's been born in Scotland. 1 yard off the ground, boom, boom, runs up, and I'm like, this ball's gonna go in the hole. This ball's gonna go in the hole. It's up like that. Best up and down of the year, Sami. Hey, I appreciate you, buddy. Thanks for all your work this year.
Thanks.
All right, another first year varsity letter winner with the cleanest shoes on the golf team, or at least he says he does, is Mason Maynard. Come on up, Mason. Mason had me pulling my hair out all year. He played great one time, and then he played bad. He said, Coach. And I said, you just keep going, Mason. You just keep going. And I can't wait to have you back next year, Mason, because you're really going to rock it out. So thank you, Mason. I appreciate you. My next first year varsity letter winner in golf, I was trying to pattern my hair off of him, but I saw he got a haircut, so I'm a little upset. It is Aiden, come on up, buddy. Now, we talk about Sami being able to hit bump and runs like he's in Scotland. As the rest of the team will know, they would chuckle. I don't know if anybody's seen Aiden hit one more than about 10 yards up in the air, but that's neither here nor there. So thanks, Aiden. I appreciate it, buddy. All right, my next first year varsity letter winner is Chris Brown. Come on up, Chris. I guess the apple didn't fall too far from the tree. I was telling somebody recently, it might have been Coach Kreider, Coach Burlkamp, is when I would sneak away from these guys during the season, I'd try to get up to legacy and try to work on my own game a little bit, or at least that's what I told my wife. Maybe I was just trying to get out of the house, I'm not sure. But I think every single time I was there, one of the Brown boys were there. It was either Chris or Joe. So, Chris also had a great SWC championship. He shot 78 to wrap it up with the 309. So thank you, Chris. Appreciate it. All right. Colt, come on up here, because I gotta talk about you for just a second, because you tickle me pink. You're funny. Colt is a first-year letter winner in golf, and he's also our SWC Scholar Athlete. And one of the things, parents, we had 3 seniors, and they're all very bright boys, and it was very, very close, very, very close. Colt, you came up on top of that heap. Colt, I think, is our resident leader in jokes and our resident leader in 4 putts. Um, um, as as all of you know, our workhorse. We'll talk about him in a minute. Will Fankhauser. Every once in a while, Will would have a bad day and go into a funk, and we just say, "Colt, go back there and do something with him." And a few minutes later, they'd be back there laughing and stuff. So I appreciate you, Colt. Thank you very much. We got one more, I believe. I'm not leaving anybody out. One more. I don't know that he's going to come up here. I told him to leave that hockey alone, but he's hurt again. Is Michael Ambrosino. Oh, he's coming. All right, come on, Michael. Michael is a freshman this year, and he actually played in the most varsity matches. Poor Will, I made him sit down one time. Michael got you. But Michael was varsity letter winner as a freshman. He had the 20th lowest scoring average in SWC, and he was, all SWC honorable mention. He finished 4th at the SWC tournament, T4 at the SWC tournament with a 75. How many birdies did you make? 6 or 7? I know you made 4 in a row. At Pioneer Invitation, you shot 73. So heck of a job, young man. I really appreciate being with you this year, and heal up because we got more work to do next year. Thank you, Michael. Okay, and then we have 2 third-year varsity letter winners, and the first one is the good-looking Ambrosino, Sean Ambrosino. So come on up with me. Now, Sean is an interesting fellow. Sean really, he's got the game. It took him a while to get all that baseball out of him, and he really started coming on late in the year. He had a heartbreak in the sectionals that cost him a chance to go to the districts, but that's neither here nor there. Sean really struck me, and I think Coach Pryor and I were talking about this a lot. I was a pretty successful golfer, as was Coach Kreider, and I think sometimes, I don't know if competitive is the right word, but we like to get on the grind, and we want to win, and we kind of want to do those things, and that's part of being an athlete and trying to get better. But Sean really opened my eyes. And I noticed that every time he'd go out to play with other teams, I'd go watch Sean. By the second hole, Sean was everyone's best friend. And I watched this tournament after tournament. He's like the commissioner of the SWC. And finally, about halfway through the season, I said, Sean, do you know everyone? Like, what are you doing? He's like, no, I just make friends really easily. And, you know, when I was Sean's age, I wish I had a little bit more of that when I played, because, you know, there's not very many of us get on the PGA Tour and do that for a living. And that trait is so much more important than the scores we shoot. So I really appreciate it, John. That's a really good deal, buddy. Thank you very much. Finally, on to this character. Mr. Will Fankhauser. This is Will's 3rd varsity letter as a junior. Will was our captain. He was our MVP. He was all SWC first team. He wasn't the total piece for us, but you know, we were joking that I told some of the boys, I said, Will's going to have a hurt back if we don't help him out a little bit. He did a lot of heavy lifting for us this year. He was tied for first because you bogeyed the last hole. You see my competitive brain going, Will? And the common invitation, you bogeyed the last hole, 72. He was second at SWC preview, 72. T4 at SWC championship, 75. and he shot 2 under against the Avon Eagles at Avon Oaks 34. That was the lowest 9 holes of the year for us. But with all those accolades, we all know Will's one fine golfer. The golf was great. I really enjoyed watching you this year, kiddo, and I can't wait till next year. But once again, score is important, but that's not really the program I'm trying to build. There's other things that are just as important. And a lot of times when you get to a skill level, such as Will has gotten to, and he's going to continue growing, sometimes those athletes or those students can be a little, how can I say it, standoffish maybe. They can kind of get in their own little world because they've kind of separated out from the bunch a bit. Will is not that kid, not at all. And it was really great to see. It would be not uncommon at all for any practice for me working with somebody to turn around and Will's working with somebody. It would not be uncommon for me to say, Will, can you please help Michael out with putting? He's not getting, Will's on the green with the putt, giving him tips. It would not be uncommon to have Will get one of the younger guys and say, hey, you need to get it going. Hey, don't worry about it. Hey, this is what's going to happen. And that is true leadership. And not once, I did ask him one time to help somebody. Other than that, he just did it all on his own. Without me asking, without me knowing, without telling me, he just did it. You know, we put Michael, in some groups with Will to kind of get some experience, and Will kind of said, come on, Michael, come on. And kind of showed him the ropes a little bit, playing with some of these guys that maybe razzed them a little bit or weren't the nicest guys to play with. And that's what a leader does, and that's what a captain does. Will is that. And you're a fine player, young man, but you're even a better kid. Everyone asks me, how good is Will Pankhouse? I say, he's a good player, but he's a hell of a kid. He's a hell of a kid, and I appreciate that, brother. So once again, thank you, parents. I know it's a tough fall. Thanks, Paul, in the back, for the support. Coach Kreider, I don't know if I wouldn't have made it without you, I know that. And thanks, Mr. Cipollone. I really appreciate you giving these boys the opportunity to go out there and do something I think is the greatest sport there is. So thanks again, everybody.
Thank you, Coach Cuomo. Congratulations to all of our award winners this evening, and really to the whole team. You know, this will be a season that you guys will probably never forget. Probably the combination of these last 2 years is probably something you'll never forget. Just a couple of things that I like to say, and then we'll get you out of here. First of all, if you notice something's misspelled or you didn't get a pin or something like that, we didn't do it on purpose. As a lot of you know, Mrs. McKenzie did have COVID for the last couple of weeks, so we've been scrambling around to get everything ready. So if something's misspelled, we'll get it corrected. Don't worry about it. I really would be remiss if I didn't thank Mrs. McKenzie. She was working from home during her quarantine. As Coach Cuomo said so eloquently, you know, Mr. Wilson, Mr. Lawver, Mrs. Morgan, really our administration. You know, we went from maybe not having any fall sports to full go fall sports in a matter of basically a week. And so the preparation maybe wasn't as good as we all thought it would be. And, you know, Coach Cuomo coming in, taking over a new team where he really didn't know all your personalities. I just think you guys had a great season. And as he said, you know, we got some young guys looking forward to you guys keep going, keep getting better, moving into a new league. I expect that we'll dominate that league. That's the expectation. So to our seniors, obviously, our seniors, we thank you. We know you'll see you in a couple other sports here as we move through our winter and fall and spring seasons. So congratulations to you and to the senior parents. congratulations to you, and thank you for all you guys have done over the course of the last 4 years with these athletes. And then obviously the last group that I want to thank is our coaching staff. As I said, Coach Cuomo and Coach Kreider, really, you can tell just by how passionate they are when they speak about the sport and about the kids. And these are the kind of coaches that we want around our kids. I mean, they care about the wins and losses, and they're competitive as all get out. Someday I'll tell everybody a story about Coach Cuomo and the story he told me, but I won't do it today. But anyways, you can tell that they want to win, but you can tell that they also want to develop fine young men. So I think we're well on our way to doing that with some of our younger guys, and I think we've done it with our seniors. So again, congratulations. Thank you for bearing with us through our technical problems tonight, and we will see you on the course. Thank you. We'd ask you guys to exit through the back. That's what Mr. Warmke would like us to do. So